I want to tell you about a little boy from Texas, because in these photos, Abdallah Kader is this rosy-cheeked, happy, smiley, kid with a whole world of possibilities ahead of him. But today, Abdallah is fed through a tube. He cannot talk, he can't walk, he can't sit or stand. He is on oxygen 24/7, and his mother says he can't leave the house because he has no immune system. Recently, his mother got to confront the man she blames for putting her son in that state that is, she says, worse than death. A warning for all of you, because what you're about to see is raw, it is real, it is hard to watch. Here is Jim Douglas from our affiliate WFAA.
Lubna Kader stood trembling, her back turned as a jail guard led Stuart Richardson into a room behind her. Then she wheeled and for the first time faced the man who haunts her.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
A bit, yes.
Look at this face. Look at him.
Richardson looked and looked away. This is what he saw, and this is what he heard.
Look at him. This is his daily life. Look at him. Just look at him. Look at him. Stare at him now. Look at him, man. Just look at him. Stare at him.
I see that every day. I'm sorry.
Stuart Richardson told us he wanted to tell the family he was sorry and that he prays for them. 5 years of volcanic suffering and rage erupted.
My son is dying every single day. Every single day he's suffering. He can't see. He can't talk. He can't breathe. He can't eat. He can't do anything. He's in pain every single day. Every single day.
Richardson remains in Tarrant County Jail while an appeals court decides whether prosecutors can enhance his punishment. They want to use prior DWI-related arrests in 4 other states to keep him off the streets for life, instead of a maximum of 20 years. Abdallah Kader is not expected to live 20 years.
I'm very sorry for you.
I don't care about your sorry. Don't say it. You make me more angry when you say sorry.
Ooh. Lubna Kader joins me now live from Dallas. And Lubna, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. And my goodness, let's just begin with, tell me why. Why did you want to go confront this man in jail?
Well, first, I always wanted for the past 5 years to go and visit and see him. And I was always told no, that I cannot go. And on every occasion and every time my son gets sick, I contact my district attorney to ask him if I can just go and to describe this to this man, the magnitude of the pain that my son goes through every day. And always the answer was, no, I cannot. And I took the first chance that came to me, that when I found out that Jim Douglas was able to go and visit with him, I asked him if I can go, and he said he doesn't see a reason why everybody can go and have a visit with them.
And so Jim Douglas is this reporter. He says he would go with you because you didn't tell a single person in your family because you knew they would potentially try to stop you from doing that. And tell me, every step toward that jail, every step toward that glass partition, you relived the accident all over again.
Yes, I did. I actually asked Jim Douglas if he can go with me to the jail because I didn't know what the environment was going to be like in the jail. And he was very helpful. He came with me. And just every step that I took toward that private room, I remembered every single thing that happened that on February 20th. I was in so much pain. I had memories of my son. And we walked in the room, and I faced the wall because at that moment I was still thinking whether I really want to face this man or not. And the minute they told me he entered the room, I just turned around, and I honestly did not know what was going to happen. And the minute I saw him and I looked so close to his eyes, I saw the evil in him. I saw no remorse. I saw that he wasn't really sorry. And I just wanted to tell him in person what my son goes through every day.
What does your son go through every day? Because you told us every day you watch your son die. Every morning you rush to your son's side. Because why?
Well, we live moment by moment with my son because he can suddenly just get sick. I mean, he doesn't give a sign that he's going to get sick, but he can suddenly get sick to the point where his oxygen really drops, and sometimes we have no time to rush him to the ER. We call the ambulance to take him to the ER. Every day my son is sick. Every day my son has at least 5 to 6 seizures a day. He's on morphine for pain. He's on hospice services. I mean, as we speak, hospice is at our house right now. I mean, there are no words to describe what my son goes through on a daily basis. Every day in the morning, I just wake up and the first thing I do is just look at him whether he's breathing or not.
I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine. The only thing I saw of Stuart Richardson, you saw him in person. We have reached out to his attorney. No further comment, no response. But when you learned that this man sits behind, these bars and has a picture of your son and says he's sorry, that infuriates you, does it not?
Yes, the day before when I saw 3 different things that he said really made me very angry. One of them is that he had a picture of my son, that he talks to him every day. I did not want this man to have a picture of my son in his cell. I did not want this man to talk to my son or anything like that. My son is an angel and this man is a devil. He's evil. I don't want him to talk to my son. The other thing he said he's been in jail for 1,824 days in jail. Well, I'm very sorry. My son has been in a vegetative state for 1,824 days plus the rest of his life. I mean, my son has no quality of life whatsoever. He doesn't see, he doesn't talk, he doesn't walk, he doesn't sit, he doesn't stand. My son lives on a feeding tube. He eats about maybe 8 ounces of formula. That's the only thing my son can have a day.
Why did you want to come on national TV and share such a personal story? What do you want people to know? Will you ever be able to forgive?
At this time, I don't know if I'm going to ever forgive him. I'm not in my son's shoes to decide whether to forgive him or not. My son has to make that decision. I forgive Stuart Richardson for the injuries he's done to me. My husband forgives him for the injuries he did to him, and so is my stepson. But I'm not in my son's shoes to forgive this man. Forgiveness for something with this magnitude of pain and suffering is really hard to come easy. I will work on it. I will work on it for myself and for my family, but at this time, I don't see myself forgiving this man because he comes on national TV saying he's sorry. Why weren't you sorry after the several DWIs you did before? Why weren't you sorry after the first person you hurt, or the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth? Why now you are sorry? Because we didn't go to trial and you're trying to get sympathy from people? No, you're not sorry. I know he isn't sorry.